Closed captioning is brought to you by Aaron Sachs & Associates.
Now at 9, a tractor and baler fire sparks concern in southwest Missouri. What you need to know about drought and wildfire risk.
The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office hopes to use a $250,000 grant to make improvements to things like firearms and patrol vehicles. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Texas Democrats return to the Capitol after a 2-week redistricting vote strike. I'm Garrett Tenney in Texas with more on that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Dry conditions fuel fires across southwest Missouri, and now a handful of counties are under a drought advisory. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A third of Missouri is in the abnormally dry category, and that includes Jasper, Newton, and Berry counties. Sunday evening, firefighters in Newton County battled a grass fire that spread to an RV and threatened a mobile home between Seneca and Neosho. No injuries were reported, and officials are still investigating what started the fire. Now, further east in Greene County, a baler and tractor caught fire on Saturday near Willard, Missouri. The fire burned part of the field, but fortunately no one was hurt. Firefighters quickly extinguished the blaze, which started on a dry field during worsening drought conditions across southwest Missouri. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Yeah, and it turned out to be a hot one for us today. Mainly dry. A few of us got a few hit and miss scare thunderstorms. Definitely hot. It's August. 90s all week, but we're going to trend it downward just a bit. So lower 90s, especially once we get into the second half of the week. Rain chances tomorrow into Wednesday, and we could be looking at 80s next week, which would be nice. Had some thunderstorms southwest Missouri earlier this evening. Those are gone. Pretty quiet for us tonight. We're going to get a few clouds in here, but a few scattered thunderstorms will try to pop up mid to late morning, just very hit and miss, but really get going. Mid to late afternoon, scattered thunderstorms. Some of these guys could be a little bit stronger, decently widespread, not everybody, but decently widespread, and then starting to die out once we get into the overnight hours tomorrow night. We'll talk more about rain chances here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, a crash on the Will Rogers Turnpike near Miami claims the life of an Oklahoma Turnpike Authority worker and puts another in the hospital. The crash happened around 2 this afternoon on eastbound I-44 near Miami. 2 Turnpike workers were on the shoulder near exit 313 when a semi veered off the road and hit them. The OTA says Zach Reinhart, a heavy equipment operator and Veneta volunteer firefighter, was hit and killed. Authorities say Reinhart was picking up trash along the highway. The semi then struck an OTA vehicle, which had the other OTA employee inside. That employee was critically injured and transported to an area hospital for treatment. The other worker was in the truck and was taken to a Joplin hospital. Authorities reopened the roadway just before 5. In a statement, the Veneta Fire Department said in part, quote, Zach exemplified the spirit of service that defines our community. As a volunteer firefighter and member of the Craig County Technical Rescue Task Force, he answered the call to protect and serve his neighbors without hesitation, end quote. The department went on to say the Veneta Fire Department has lost not just a firefighter, but a brother. Our community has lost a true servant. Zach Reinhart was 37 years old. Well, a series of new improvements is headed to the Ottawa County Sheriff's Department thanks to a state grant. The $250,000 grant will help fund with several projects, including allowing for fire department issued firearms for the first time. KOAM Samantha Walker has the details.
Without money, you can't do nothing.
But a state funding assistance grant from the Attorney General's office offers a chance for law enforcement to improve.
Without it, we wouldn't be able to buy what we're buying because our budget is low. The only thing we can't use this money for is salaries. So any equipment, anything that's broke that we need fixed, we can use it for.
The size of the grant depends on a community's population. So in Ottawa County, they received $250,000. This is the second year the County Sheriff's Department has applied for the grant, with funds last year being used for department stipends and to purchase all-terrain vehicles to help respond in more rural areas.
We used all of it except about $20. So we got that done, and now we're waiting to get this one started.
This year, the department has 3 main projects planned for the grant. First, replace up to 9 aging patrol cars.
Vehicles are breaking down. We're spending way too much money on vehicles, so hopefully some newer used vehicles will help us down the road.
Second, install 3 license plate readers in the county, a resource area agencies utilize, but of which Ottawa County has none of their own.
We've been able to use them to find stolen vehicles and stuff like that. So yeah, they work. It's not something to where Big Brother is looking down on everybody. It's for crime.
And finally, allow them to have department-issued firearms for the first time.
Right now, if you get hired by us, you have to provide your own weapon. So that puts everybody using different weapons, different ammunition. Now with department issued, we'll all be familiar with each other's weapons. We'll have the same magazine, same ammo. So if a situation arises to where one person needs another person's gear, they're familiar with it, and it's be a life-saving tool.
Sheriff Dean says funding like this is necessary for the department to be able to perform to the best of their abilities, and that they likely wouldn't be able to make these improvements without it.
This funding from the state is awesome, and it's going to be able to help us do what we need to do for the citizens.
Reporting in Miami, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office hopes to now apply for this grant every year. Grant applications reopen annually at the end of the state's fiscal year in June. For thousands of area families, summer vacation is officially over and it's back to school time around the 4 states. We begin our coverage at Missouri Southern State University, where many students attended their first day of class today. Faculty and staff rolled out a warm greeting with a free lunch, games, and more.
Felt like a really long summer where we didn't have anybody here and, just barely seeing any students. So just getting to see them all back on campus and just get back into the swing of things is what's the most exciting.
It's been better than I expected. I was a little nervous this morning, but it was good.
Although a lot of students seem to enjoy the outdoor activities, some opted to eat indoors just to stay cool. Well, Pittsburgh State University also welcomed students back to campus today. The Gorillas kicked off a new semester with classes starting this morning. For freshmen, it's their first real taste of college life. For returning students, it's a chance to get back into the swing of things and reconnect on campus.
Expectation for the student body is just to have lots of fun, to win our football games, and to just grow in community with each other.
Students also attended a number of first day festivities around the campus. Northeastern Oklahoma students got the opportunity to meet the school's president on their first day of class today. The president says enrollment is up this year. We caught up with both the president and students to hear their thoughts and hopes as a new academic year begins.
Students choose NEO because of the connectedness across campus, our faculty and staff that truly care about our students, not only in the classroom but outside of the classroom. That's going to be a focal area this year.
I really like their athletic training program and the way that they help out the kids and reach out to them and stuff.
One of the things NEO says they are proud of is their esports department, as they have recently ranked nationally. Well, college students aren't the only ones back in the classroom. Coming up, the Pittsburgh School District is looking for a smooth transition.
The streets are clear right now, but not long ago, parents were dropping off their kids for the first day of school at Westside Elementary. I'm Ty Parks, and I'll have the story of what it takes to make.
Plus, Joplin schools start the year with cheers, with one of their leaders earning Southwest Missouri's top assistant principal honor.
Massive used car inventories.
The best used car selection and savings are only at Roper Honda.
Well, it wasn't just the big kids headed back to school. Today was the first day for a lot of grade schoolers around the area, including the kids at Pittsburgh's Westside Elementary. KOAM's Ty Parks gets a lesson on just how much work it takes for that first day to run smoothly.
Westside Elementary welcomes its students back from the summer break. Teachers and staff have been preparing for this all summer with in-service days. The principal, Kelsey, tells us what she does to keep her staff enthused.
Really like the biggest cheerleader in this building. I am always on fire for kids. And then sometimes when I can tell everybody's getting a little bit tired, we'll do fun things for the staff. But we also do fun things for the kids. Like a couple years ago, I ate a cow's tongue. I've been taped to the wall. We take the kids to do fun things like bowling and just lots of activities to keep them excited about school.
The excitement also spreads across the teachers explaining their subjects.
So my teachers are really great sellers of their curriculum. Some days they are just really on it, and that's why teachers are probably the most tired people at the end of the day, and they can sit down on the couch at the end of the day and fall asleep pretty much immediately. We all joke about it, but it's really because they're on fire for the kids and they want the kids to have the best education possible.
The Best for the Education shows each student what is expected of them each day they come to school.
So we talk about the things that kids love about school, the fostering the family connection we have here at Westside. Come on in. Come on. You're good. You're doing great. Welcome back. And just naturally encompassing the passion they have for teaching.
For some students, this may be the first time they are out of their homes for a long time. The school counselor is available for any students who needs to talk.
So I go into every classroom as a school counselor. I visit every classroom first day of school, and we have some lessons that we do, especially with our kindergartners who this is their first time at Westside in formal school setting. So they get to see me all day long.
Throughout the first day, the students will have assemblies welcoming them to the school year. In Pittsburgh, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Educators in Pittsburgh have actually been on the job for a while, working in-service days over the summer in preparation for the school year. The school season for Joplin High School gets started with a round of applause. The applause came for the Holly Used, the Joplin High School assistant principal, who was just named the Southwest Missouri Assistant Principal of the Year. Now, the honor came from the Missouri Association of Secondary School Principals. Judging from the applause, the honor was well-deserved.
I just always want to be serving and making myself better each and every day. I always tell not only students, but my own children, if you're 1% better every day, then you're accomplishing something in life. And that's the key. And so I hope to do that for myself as well.
Used has worked for the Joplin School District since 2013. Now, Joplin schools officially start on Wednesday. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, microplastics could be hiding right in your home. How you can protect your family.
Still hot Tuesday with maybe some rain chances. A look at your forecast right here at 7.
Complex, home of Connect-A-Culture and Spiva Center for the Arts.
Well, it definitely turned out to be hot once again for us today. Temperatures were right back up there across the region. Most of us into the upper 90s for afternoon highs, which, of course, that's never super fun, but hey, what do? We had some thunderstorms in our eastern counties. Anything that did develop, so these were down kind of toward Timberlake Lake, are gone. And we don't have to worry about really any thunderstorms for the rest of the overnight hours for us tonight. Now, tomorrow, we're going to get a little better shot to get some in here across the region. Let me walk you through time. So here we go, 5:30 in the morning, mid-70s, so a mild, kind of sticky start once again. As we go through the morning hours, a couple random scattered thunderstorms mid to late morning. Not a big deal, not very numerous. Our better chances for thunderstorms occur after 3 p.m. Here's about 2:30, low to mid 90s, so it's hot, it's humid, and then thunderstorms start to get going. They are going to be scattered. It's not going to be a wall of rain, but there's going to be quite a few out there, especially as we get into the evening hours. Any of these storms that do develop, some of them could be a little bit on the stronger side, maybe a little beefy, maybe a low grade, severe one. When I say low grade, we're talking about gusty winds near 60, and we're also talking about some quarter-size hail. These will diminish as we go through the evening hours, then we kick off Wednesday morning. Looks fine, but a few random thunderstorms again, especially in our southern counties once we get to Wednesday afternoon, but I really think most of us are going to be dry on Wednesday. We're going to have to see where the heavier bands of rain decide they want to set up, but the reason I'm showing you this is because the areas that do get rain could pick up a half an inch to an inch. pretty quickly. I think at least 60% of us will see rain tomorrow. 76 to start, 89 by noon. Let's go with a high temp of 96 degrees. Looks good. Great shot. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Light breeze looking downtown Joplin. Look at our temps, though, still mid to upper 80s to near 90 degrees, and our humidity is high. Look at our dew points. We're sitting into lower 70s. So what that means for you is the way it feels to your skin. Feels kind of muggy, feels kind of soupy across the region. Heat indices tomorrow, still up there. About 100, 102 during the afternoon. You're going to like this, though. On Wednesday, they come down to the mid-90s. I know it's still hot, but it's looking better. All right, let's drop into southern Atlantic. We got Hurricane Erin, 130 miles per hour, and it's been trying to get a little closer to the eastern seaboard. Looks like it's going to take a turn before it gets to North Carolina, but they're going to have those outer bands. There is another hurricane next week that could make landfall in the lower 48, so we'll keep our eyes on that. By Thursday, a high temps right around 90 degrees, which is looking a little bit better, and we hang near 90 as we go toward the weekend. 96 Tuesday, 93 Wednesday, 91 Thursday. Lower 90s all the way through the weekend, but there's a good shot we have 80s next week, maybe lower 80s for highs. So that would be pretty nice for the last week of August.
Something to look forward to, that's for sure. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up next, the dangers of plastics.
Could plastic particles inside your house be harmful to your health? I'm Connor Hansen in New York with all those details coming up.
For good, Vita Nova Golf Scramble September 5th. Sign up now.
News Now supporting the 4 states' first responders.
It's not just single-use plastics. Microplastics are in our food, water, and everyday household products, including laundry and dishwasher pods. Fox News correspondent Connor Hansen has more on where you can find them and how they could impact your health.
Studies estimate that an average person may ingest up to a credit card's worth of microplastics each week.
People are becoming increasingly concerned about microplastics. 90% of parents say they're extremely worried about microplastics in their homes, according to a recent study by Blueland, an eco-friendly cleaning products company.
Microplastics are tiny plastic particles that generally come from the breakdown of larger plastic items and single-use plastic. Because they're so small, they're now everywhere. They're in our oceans, they're in our food, they're in our drinking water, they're even in the air that we breathe.
Blueland's co-founder and CEO, Sarah Paigiu, says some of the biggest concerns come from PVAs, or polyvinyl alcohol, which is the plastic that dissolves in water, like the film surrounding most laundry and dishwasher pods, and microplastics that contaminate the air in our house from synthetic fabrics that make up our rugs, curtains, and sheets, even the clothes that we wear.
People also tend to think because we don't see them and the smaller they are, the less damage they can do. And it's actually the opposite. The smaller they are, the harder they are to filter out.
Yu says breathing in and ingesting these tiny plastic particles can have harmful effects.
Microplastics may contribute to heart attacks and stroke, to inflammation, hormone disruption, and potentially even linked to Parkinson's and dementia. Plastic pollution isn't just a faraway environmental issue, it's a human health issue as well.
Yu recommends some simple swaps from plastic that can go a long way, including reusable water bottles, using wood, stainless steel, and silicone when cooking, buying natural fiber clothing like cotton and linen over synthetic materials, and switching to liquid or powder detergent for your laundry and dishwasher. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Well, coming up next, firefighters are turning up the heat to help adult cats find their perfect homes. How you can help.
Make your hard-earned dollars go further.
For adoption. Put these on.
Paw Prints of the Heartland had the fire department out today. Now, it wasn't for a fire call, but instead the firefighters posed with the furry felines as a way to help adopt some of the older cats. Adult cats often get overlooked, so this is a great way for them to get attention to those older felines.
I hope the most they get out of it is to remember the cats in our community, which we have so many cats that are homeless, going without food and water, and we need to remember them, especially this time of year. Kittens, we have kittens galore.
Now, if you can adopt, Paw Print says they are always accepting donations of kitty litter and food and volunteers. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. After a full quorum in the Texas House of Representatives, Democrats continue to challenge the state's redistricting plan efforts. And President Trump pushes for peace before his meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Bang Theory tonight
to learn more.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Buck. The Texas State House was able to achieve a quorum today. This after a 2-week walkout by Democrats trying to derail a Republican redistricting effort. Fox News correspondent Garrett Tenney has the latest from Austin, Texas.
A quorum is present, and it's time to resume the work of the people of Texas sent us here to do.
After more than 2 weeks, the Texas House is able to do its work after dozens of Democrats in hiding returned to the state. Taking a victory lap after fleeing Texas and delaying a vote on the GOP's new congressional map.
The quorum break was successful, I think, beyond our wildest dreams. This is now the talk of the land because of the quorum break.
The Texas legislature could pass the new congressional map as soon as this week, and House Democrats say they plan to challenge that map in court immediately.
We know that it's going to be impossible that they can defend this in court. This absolutely violates the Voting Rights Act.
That's what we fought for, fair maps. But if Republicans want to play dirty, Democrats can take their white hat off too.
This week, California Democrats are expected to pass their own new congressional map that would create 5 new Democratic districts if voters approve the map in November. Former President Barack Obama is now joining the redistricting fight as well, headlining a major fundraiser in Martha's Vineyard tomorrow for the National Democratic Redistricting Committee, headed by his former Attorney General, Eric Holder. But some Republicans argue that Democrats need to look in the mirror.
They're just angry that a Republican state is finally standing up and doing what the Republican voters of their state want, because the reality is Democrat state after Democrat state after Democrat state for over a decade has been gerrymandering the hell out of their states.
The Texas House will next meet on Wednesday, and the House Speaker isn't taking any chances with Democrats not showing up again. A state trooper has been assigned to every lawmaker who fled the state and will stay with them until the next session. In Austin, Texas, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
Well, President Trump is looking to crack down on state laws that negatively impact the national economy. The Department of Justice and the White House National Economic Council are looking for state-level regulations that impact other states' economies. The DOJ gave 2 examples when it sued California for allegedly imposing costly production requirements of eggs and poultry products. And then in May, the DOJ sued New York, Vermont, Michigan, and Hawaii over state climate action and raising costs unnecessarily. Now, President Trump signed an executive order back in January to eliminate these regulatory burdens, but the administration argues those regulations are at the state level as well as the federal. Now the DOJ is trying to identify and eliminate them. Well, the high-stakes showdown between Presidents Trump and Zelensky is finally here. It's the first time the 2 leaders are meeting since a contentious Oval Office face-off back in February. Now, President Donald Trump is making a big push for peace before his meeting with Ukrainian President and other European leaders. Now, Trump's plan is to get Zelensky to agree to a comprehensive peace centered on security guarantees for Ukraine in exchange for recognition of captured land as Russian territory. The sale isn't going to be easy since Ukraine was given similar guarantees when it gave up its land in 1994. But Putin attacked anyway. Although some European officials have said they support the U.S. offer to back security guarantees, the White House is emphasizing that all parties will have to give up something in the negotiations. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, more Missouri ranchers are raising Wagyu beef to meet the growing demand for high-quality local meat. Why it's gaining popularity.
Chris, welcome.
Well, it turned out to be a hot Monday for us today. Some thunderstorms in our far eastern. Outside for us right now. This mic is on. Let's see. Okay, cool. And it looks like as we go through the daytime hours on Tuesday, we're going to have some better chances for showers and thunderstorms. Nothing really going on out there right now, which is fine. Let me take you through time, through the night, into the morning hours. Could be a random guy out there to start the day, but some scattered showers start to pick up mid to late morning. Once we get past about 3 p.m., we're going to start to see scattered thunderstorms popping up. Any of these guys that do pop up will have the chance to be a little beefy, maybe a low-grade severe one. Not a huge deal, but we're going to have some scattered stronger storms. Here's 6 p.m. Let me walk you right through the evening. Scattered thunderstorms continue 9, 10, 11 p.m. After that, any thunderstorms will just kind of fizzle apart, and we look pretty good as we go into Wednesday morning. There is still going to be a slight chance Wednesday afternoon 1 or 2 guys could fire in our far southern counties. Most of us a little bit cooler and a little bit less humid as we go into Wednesday afternoon, which we'll definitely take. All right, the storms tomorrow, they're going to be scattered. That means not every single person is going to get rain. I think about 60 to 65% of us will. So what this map shows is more of the areas that do get rain could pick up a half an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, or maybe a little bit more. So fingers crossed on that because it is dry. We could definitely use a little bit of rain across the region. Let's see here. I don't know why this locked up on me here. Interesting. But at least we're going to get a little rain. All right, let me walk back here and manually punch through this. Oh, that's interesting. A program's trying to update on here. Okay, so day planner as we go into the daytime hours. Tomorrow 76, in the morning 89 by noon, high temp 96 degrees. Looks great out there right now. Great shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. Temperatures still warm. We're sitting mid to upper 80s and our humidity is high. Our dew points are in that 70 to 73 range. What that means for you is it feels kind of muggy, kind of soupy across the region. So our heat index is still going to be up there tomorrow, 100 to about 102. But it does come down a little bit once we get into Wednesday, heat indices into the mid-90s. Also watching Hurricane Aaron, clocking winds 125. Good news on Aaron, looks like it will stay just east of the eastern seaboard as we go through the next couple days, which is definitely good news. All right, high temp tomorrow, 96, 93, Wednesday, 91. On Thursday, lower 90s into the weekend, dropping into the 80s by next week.
Man, look forward to that cool down.
Yeah, it looks good.
Right in time for Labor Day weekend too, right?
Yeah, I'll probably warm up a little bit by then.
Ah, darn it. That would be nice. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, still ahead, Pitt State women's soccer is looking to take the next step in their second season as a program. We're going to hear from the team coming up. And the Gorillas volleyball program is ushering in a new era with a new head coach. We'll have the details next.
Make 2020 Fox.
Last fall, Pittsburgh State added a new women's sport for the first time in nearly 30 years, with the women's soccer program taking center stage. In their first season of competition, the Gorillas finished with a .500 record, and that early success as a program was the cherry on top for Pitt State, who entered 2024 with an emphasis on creating a strong foundation and culture.
The word I've used a lot is a whirlwind, because there was just a lot of stuff going on at the same time, like building a team, building the culture, all those things. But the group the first year did a great job of laying a foundation for what this program's capable of.
We didn't know necessarily what was going to happen with 37 new girls coming in and all of us from all different places, all different backgrounds, kind of just coming together. Honestly, we couldn't have asked for a better season with everything going on. The energy and our chemistry clicked right away, surprisingly. And it's, like I said, it's very hard to get that with that many girls being involved. But it was overall a very good season, a lot of effort, a lot of grit, and overall couldn't ask for anything better.
As the Gorillas gear up for the 2025 season, there are 19 newcomers joining the team. And after a strong start to the program's history a year ago, Pitt State believes they are ready to take the next step with a loaded roster.
I think the talent we have brought in this year and the recruitment that Wes has done is phenomenal. We have so many good players. Our roster and bench is so deep this year, and I feel like just the effort alone and the amount of talent and stuff that we're going to have is just going to be even better and give us a good chance for the championship this year.
I think that's something we're going to lean on to, especially as we hit conference time, playing a lot of players. It might be 18, it might be 22, but that's something I think that we're going to lean on and push ourselves every day to use that as our strength going forward. We want to make sure that we're adding different types of players, but also players that are just going to continue to push each other.
Gorillas return to the pitch on Thursday in their second preseason scrimmage before the start of the regular season on September 4th against the University of Missouri, St. Louis. The Pitt State volleyball squad opened their preseason practices last week, ushering in a new era under head coach Megan Bessaker. Bessaker replaces Jen Gomez, who spent the last 9 seasons leading the program. And with the regular season rapidly approaching, the Gorillas are embracing intense and competitive practices, with every player on the roster fighting for their role.
We have a big roster, so practices will be really competitive. We'll run very high-tempo practices, and we have a lot of new faces, so just getting to know each other a little bit more and playing to all of our strengths. Everyone's competing for a spot, and it makes practices a lot of fun.
Having that many people in each position is a great thing, honestly, but it makes it like we can push each other and people aren't content in their spot. The intensity, again, is just way higher, and you're pushing each other nonstop.
The phrase "nothing beats that good old home cookin'" reigns true for the Gorillas this season, as they will play 16 of their matches inside John Lance Arena. And with 2 tournaments on their home court to open the season, the Gorillas are excited and ready to show out in front of the Pittsburgh community.
A lot of our home games are at the beginning of the season, so we'll get to know ourselves a little bit better at home, where we play probably better than on the road before we go on those away trips. I just think it's an area we'll all be familiar with. You know, we don't have a lot of time to prep for the season. I think just being familiar with the area, familiar with the space, it's nice that we get to play at home in front of our crowd, and we have good support from their families, so they'll be able to come. Having so many home games makes the year already better, just because you get to have those home fans and the community comes together when we're at home. So having that opportunity to end on a good note here and have that many games finishing at home is awesome.
I think it's amazing because being a senior, I get to play at home all the time, and then drawing in the community and all the other student athletes and the students is just a good way to just promote us.
The Gorillas will host their Red vs. Gold scrimmage next Saturday on August 30th before they're opening their season at home on September 5th against Lubbock Christian in the Pitt State Classic. As the dog days of summer continue, the Royals and Cardinals continue their fight for the postseason with new series to start the week. Cardinals looking to shake off a tough weekend after being swept by the Yankees, and St. Louis gets back in the win column, defeating the Marlins 8-3. The Cards scoring the game's final 5 runs to secure the win, with Nolan Gorman putting on the icing on the cake, hitting a 2-run homer in the 9th. The Royals, coming off a weekend sweep of their own, defeating the White Sox all 3 games, begin a crucial 4-game set against the Rangers, with Kansas City picking up a 4-3 win in the opener. Mike Yastrzemski, Vinny Pasquantino, and Michael Garcia each clearing the yard with round trippers. That's it for your sports. We're back with more after this.
An increasing number of ranchers in Missouri are starting to raise and sell Wagyu meat. Right now, more than 50 farms deal with Wagyu. Chris Bryant introduces us to one Southwest Missouri farmer who's proud of the pricier product he's offering to customers.
Unique breed, ancient breed, and the full blood especially, they're a slower growing breed.
Warren Buffett once said, "Price is what you pay, value is what you get." The owner of J.B. Kobe Farms says for a cow to become market ready for him, it takes nearly double the time of an Angus, from 18 months to 3 years. And with that quality comes a higher price.
I would say probably double. There, you will see some Wagyu at Walmart and other places. It's a lower quality Wagyu, probably the 50% Wagyu genetics is what that is, but about double.
Sidney Long is the executive director of the Missouri Beef Industry Council and says the growth of Wagyu is about the farmers.
We view it as another way for producers to evaluate what works for their own operations and find another way to add value to their product.
Long says research shows customers are willing to purchase up when it comes to meat.
They're more willing to pay for a product that says that it is a breed specific. Wagyu is included in that, as well as Hereford and Angus. They're more willing to pay for that than just a a steak that is sitting there on the shelf that doesn't have a specific claim associated with it.
And customers are willing to buy local.
Everybody deserves to know where their food comes from, and everybody's been interested in that. But we definitely have seen an increase in wanting to buy directly from a producer wherever they happen to find it, whether that is at a farmer's market or they happen to know a guy.
Well, prices vary on the quality and percent when it comes to Wagyu meat, and with some steaks and cuts, it can cost nearly $100 a pound or more. Well, it's a heartfelt journey of friendship and unexpected love, and the map that leads to you. We have a preview up next in Hollywood Nation. The new romantic drama, The Map That Leads to You, takes viewers on a European adventure across borders filled with friendship and unexpected love. Fox's Iman Digman caught up with the cast, who tells us how the story hits close to home and resonates with their own experiences.
Why are we running? Are we that late?
Madeline Klein, KJ Apa, and their co-stars take a cross-continent adventure in the romantic drama, The Map That Leads to You. Based on the 2017 novel, the story follows a college graduate and her friends on a European trip, which takes an unexpected turn after meeting a traveler retracing his grandfather's journal.
This story starts out as kind of like a love story between like some girls, like we're on a Euro trip, and then it kind of ends up evolving into something else.
I'm Jack. And you are? Heather. Appa plays the traveler using his grandfather's old travel journal to retrace the places he once visited. Off screen, he says his own map has a few important stops.
There's a few prominent locations. It would be home in New Zealand. It's a big map. And you know, the gym, and like just where all my friends live and stuff.
Similar to the film, Madison Thompson shares an unexpected detour that completely reshaped her life.
My college experience, I was going to go to one college, and then because of acting things that happen, like change super last minute, sometimes your path diverges, and that's definitely what happened to me. But I made the most incredible friends, like met my boyfriend, like so many people that are so essential to my life today.
Sophia Wiley adds that life's twists and turns have often led to something better for her.
As actors, we all experience the rejection that comes where you really, really want something and it feels like it's meant to be. Those are always times in my life where I'm really grateful for the no's, because it always leads to a better yes.
The Map That Leads to You premieres on Prime Video Wednesday. Eamon Dignam, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of a jaguar celebrating her 8th birthday this summer at the Oakland Zoo. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.